Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, whatever time it is, wherever you're watching from. I am the Gentleman, and this is the Gentleman's Pixel Club. More importantly, this is the face of failure. I was challenged on the forums by a gentleman known as Chopaholic. You may know him as Degsy Degsworth. His channel is linked below. He does an excellent fruit machine channel, gambling channel, for those that have an interest in this. And he also enjoys all the retro stuff. I've known this gentleman for about 20 years or so. Great person. But he also has great skills. And one of the games he challenged me to do was Chase H.Q by Tato. Now, this isn't going to be hard. I'm used to this chap playing fruit machines on an emulator which was created by Chris Wren. I'm used to this chap honing his skills on those, but dear God, take a look at these scores here. This man can get these scores in 1 credit, 1 playthrough on the game. So 1 credit is 0 continues, and he is absolutely shit hot. He asked if I would give it a go when I first started doing this channel, maybe about 3 weeks ago. Gave me a reminder today, so I thought, what the hell, how hard can this be? So what we're going to do is, this channel is actually, this video rather, is actually split. I have a couple of goes of this, and then I went to confirm the settings, the dip switches that he used, because as I say, he has tremendous skills here. And then he told me them, so it was, oh my God. I then changed the dip switches in the settings, so this was effectively recorded in 2 parts, and give it a go here. I tell you now, I'm absolutely the face of failure at this, as you see here. My skills are not good. I had fun trying, and I do get why he really likes this game, but bloody hell, you've got to have some skills here. I am playing this on Mame. It is not available on my system of choice, as you may know if you watch a few of my videos. I try and do everything on the Mr. FPGA, but this game is unfortunately not available for this, so we have a couple of Mame captures. So let's get right into the game. We've got the credit inserted now, as you can see on the screen. Pushing the start button any moment, and we're going to kick off with this. So we're going to listen to the Nancy, who I believe is the call handler, rattling on, saying there's another emergency. Ralph, a slasher, is fleeing towards the suburbs, and he's in a white British sports car. So we're going to have a go at pursuing him, a go at chasing him. This game has been set up to have an extended time to catch them, so I start on 70 seconds to actually get the car. When you actually catch up with the enemy car, you then get a further time to run him off the road. There's no shooting involved in this. It's basically, ram your car into them. Try to turn left there and spun out. Not particularly clever of me, and I've lost precious time this early on, but I've still got 3 of my turbos left, so there's every chance of catching up to him. I think that I'm playing this game wrong at the moment in the way that I'm driving. I'm trying to hit all the bushes rather than miss them. I don't know which has more skill, trying to avoid them or not, but hey, we're doing what we can. So we're into the tunnel, and we can see us approaching him on the right hand side on the graph, and he's in range any moment now. There's some nice flashing lights which surprised me when I first played this on top of the screen. I thought that there's some Mame art that you're seeing here was just static pictures with the gearbox on the right hand side, and when the police siren started flashing, it was like, well, that's cool, something else to distract me. Oh, look at these lights, when I should actually be looking at the car in front of me. I'm doing reasonably well at the moment, trying to ram him, and pretty confident at this stage that I'm going to get him. He has sped away a little bit, but I've got 2 turbos, so keep ram hit, and not much more to go. This game reminds me very much of Outrun in a lot of what you're having a look at here, the way the road is. And we've actually got him, so I'll stop about Outrun for the moment. My fist pump in the air, and there he is, arrested. Stage 1 complete. So when you look at how well I've done this, you know what, the scores that were shown at the beginning of this video, these must be very, very easy to get. You know, easy. Yeah, you know, if every level's like this, there isn't going to be too much trouble. But now we've got another emergency. The New York armed robber has been spotted in a yellow sports car on the freeway. They don't tell you what make it is. I think they said it was British on the last one, but we're going to try and get him again. I was pleased to see that the turbos refreshed on stage 2, and you know, I've now got 5. I'd only used, I think, 2 of them, so I had 3 remaining on the first enemy. And I got this chopper here. This was a bit of a surprise. What's that going to do? Is that an enemy or something? But it turns out they're actually the good guy telling you where the guy is, and I just completely missed that turn in, glitch into the wall, and end up again completely behind. You know, I shouldn't have done that. I should be much better than this. The animation of the gears on the low and the high on the right hand side is part of Mame. When you toggle the gears, they go from low to high, as you can see there, and you know, it's nice to have a graphical representation to see where you are, so you don't have to keep an eye on the speedometer at the top, whether you need to increase it, because I think it topped out at about 200 miles an hour before you need to knock it up again. You know, I have enough trouble keeping my eyes on the road. But as I said before, we caught the bad guy on stage 1. This really does remind me of Outrun, and I do like Outrun, and I'm reasonably okay at Outrun, and you know, this just adds more to the mix of it. You know, I believe that there was probably a sit-down version of this cabinet as well as stand-up, looking at the options in Mame, because when you do it, you like have cabinet upright, steering lock, so you must be able to toggle that for a different version. I'm struggling at the moment to catch up with the yellow car from an unnamed country. I think it was a Lamborghini, or it's meant to represent that. Not 100% certain. Not great on my cars in real life. I just like them to get me from, you know, A to B, with least visits by the RAC to my door at home, least visits to the garage, and you know, least money. Never been a particularly proud owner of a car in terms of, you know, it's got to be top notch or anything else like that. And you know, I do generally kind of wreck them and make a bit of a mess in real life. Not through damage, but you know, I wouldn't say I look after them like some people every Sunday, cleaning them. So, you know, cars are really not my thing, but I do enjoy the odd car racing game like this. I should be able to get this yellow guy now, you know, just a couple more hits, but worried about the time, you know, 3 to, see, we're not going to do it. Opened my mouth, think I was going to get him, and we won. And when I was playing this game and not talking over it, I was absolutely sure I was going to get him. But we're going to have one more go at this. You know, I felt that my skills had improved as I went through the level from level 1 to 2. I was getting the hang of what I needed to do. I was a little annoyed at myself for glitching on the split where the helicopter basically, I believe, said go left, and I clipped the wall and I went right. So it's a case of play again, try better, concentrate. You know, if Degsy Degsworth can get the huge score that he's got, and I've managed to come in 5th with probably only a 10th of the score that he got, it does show that, you know, it is possible. It's possible maybe for me to do something here. You know, at least I didn't have a go and not hit the high score table like I usually do. So we're just entering GPC here while I try and master the controls to put the initials in, and it's going to save them, as I know from his screenshot of Mame, and this will be something to come back to. So we're going to whack another credit in, and you know, we're going to give this another go, a second playthrough, and again chase after the white British car. So Nancy tells us what we already know, but I'm kind of pausing for a bit of, not fresh air, but just refresh myself. So the British sports car, we will absolutely get this time. You know, I'm going to concentrate, going to focus.
Let's go, Mr. Driver.
So here we go. Road is clear, and you know, just speeding towards the target on the far left, using a boost early to try and gain as much ground as possible. Don't know whether you get more points by getting to them quicker, but confident that I can absolutely do this. paying attention to, obviously not the barrier that I spin out there on, but paying attention that that is the point to turn left, to head down where he's going, trying to collect every single bush that I can. You know, when I play this next time, I really need to aim at driving through the middle of them. It's going to make my life a damn sight easier, and I don't know whether you lose much speed by doing it, but it can't be right. Enter the tunnel. We had a tunnel on the last level on stage 2 of the previous playthrough. Managed to clip the walls there and perfectly go through it this time, and feeling very good about myself. You know, a couple of boosts left, know that they refresh at the end of the next stage, so can happily ram this vehicle that I'm aiming for. You know, 55 seconds coming up in a moment. Yeah, 55 now on the clock, so I'm using the turbos, using the boost to hit him. This should be plain sailing, so we're just going to sit back and watch this level play out. We have got him. I did notice there on playing this that depending on what side you pull them over on, you know, I'm sure that they give a fist pump in the air over the left hand side or the right hand side, which was the last side for, you know, the car to strike the enemy car. So yeah, nice little touch like this. So Nancy is now going to talk to us about the yellow car, which we don't quite know where it comes from, but so I'm sure that's a Lamborghini.
Leave it to us, Nancy, baby.
So off we go again. 5 boosts, they've all been reset. We'll try and repeat exactly what I did on the last stage. You know, the roads are a bit more windy here. Not scared of a helicopter, but remembering there's going to be a split in the road coming up very, very soon, because he doesn't take long to tell you what way to go. So go left, and I go right. You know, I know this is coming, I knew this was coming, but it still caught me out. Maybe I was waiting for I don't know, gambling that it was going to be right when I was playing. I can't really remember. All I know now is that I've lost concentration. I hit the pylons as you saw there, spinning around a fair bit. Only a couple of boosts left, 25 seconds to try and get to the enemy car, and you know, not feeling very, very confident at the moment. You know, I am gaining, but you know, again, I strike cars, spin out a little bit in terms of, you know, the control doesn't seem right, it doesn't seem fluid, but I finally catch up. So that was lucky, and you know, I get another 70 seconds on the clock, which is quite happily ticking down. As you see, the beeping you're hearing in the background is WhatsApp chirping away at me. It likes to do that when I record these videos. I should learn to put that damn phone on mute, but hey ho. 48 seconds to do a fair bit of damage to that car. I've run out of turbos, so I'm not too sure whether I've got the ability to be able to do this or not. You know, 30 seconds on the clock, you know, 37 seconds rather than back then. You know, it looks possible, but every time I strike something, every time I clip another car, you know, I really fall back like this. So now I've got to go from low to high that I just have, try and speed to try and catch up. And it's while playing this at this stage, you know, I thought, Jesus God, you know, the high score that we've already seen at the beginning of this video, you know, is always going to take some beating, but look, I can do this, and I've got them again. You know, I think there was a lot of blind luck here, but I now make it onto stage 3. You know, I'm thinking, is this going to be possible for me to get all the way through this? I'm scraping by, I'm scraping through. You know, I have a generous amount of turbos to do this, but you know, we got Nancy coming back in, so let's see what she's offering us this time.
Nancy in Chase headquarters. We've got an emergency here. A gang of Chicago pushers are fleeing towards the suburbs. The target
So we got a German sports car. You know, they must hate foreigners, because we have the English one, the unknown one, then we got a German one. I don't think the people that wrote this like Europeans. I like the way the graphics have changed in this as well, so you're not doing the same levels over and over. You know, we have some pretty houses that are there. I'm sure they wouldn't be too happy about living on a main road like this with cars speeding along, but you know, it creates some atmosphere. You know, I managed to, pure luck, navigate left before I smash into every bush and spin myself wildly out of control, while again like a demented Pac-Man I make every effort to collect all these damn green balls. You know, what am I doing? You know, it's just ridiculous. Fortunately, we're back on the road now. 30 seconds or so to catch up with the enemy, the German car. Through the tunnel, didn't clip the wall. You know, again, this is going pretty well, but I have no boosts. And we see the target vehicle. Now, this was a problem. I couldn't remember at this stage when I was playing the game what colour the target vehicle was, and I think I do eventually get up to it, and he left that barrier in the road. But you know, I've lost what, God knows how many seconds, and you know, I haven't even done one hit on it. So this shows that this game. Oh, there we are, white car. This shows that this isn't blind luck that you can just scrape through. You've actually got to have some skills, and the way this is playing at the moment, the way that I feel that I'm doing at the moment on here, you know, God forbid what the later levels are going to be like, you know, how hard it will be to hit the scores that I mentioned before that was on the opening of the video. You know, I'm doing my absolute best, but I can feel now, you feel it in your water, that you ain't going to be able to complete this. You know, I can't do all the damage I need to in 10 seconds or so that's left on the clock from now. You know, I'm all over the place here, halfway there, and it's just a real poor show. So we have game over in a moment. We're going to let this count down because, you know, we're not continuing the mission on this particular game. We can see the the white car on the radar is way ahead in the distance, and they've escaped. We're going to be insulted by the commentator,
See you later.
and it's game over. Very much like Outrun, it gives you a map of what you did, and we're going to be able to put our score in the high score. So, you know, let's see where we did. Okay, we're a little bit better than, you know, what we did before. Not great, but a little bit better. And this brings the end to this particular segment of the video. You know, this has been Chase H.Q by Tato on the settings that I did for Mame to give myself a reasonable chance of doing this. So after playing this, I went back to the forums and I asked, you know, what set you gave me this challenge, but what settings did you have to actually, you know, play the game? You know, how were you doing this? Because, you know, you want to be sure that, you know, you're trying to replicate what you've been asked to do. So I thought, let's change my settings to these ones that you see on the screen that were kindly provided, and, you know, we are going to have one playthrough. So I fire up Mame again that you see now, and the game is just loaded, and I go in a moment to change the settings to ensure that, you know, we're 100% replicating what we see on the screenshot to your left. So the timer we changed down to 60 seconds, turbo stopped, goes down to 3, and, you know, that is it, and off we go from here. Mame is kind of cool. It allows you have this pretty interface to make changes, and yeah, you could change all the art on it as well. I could clip away all the art you see, but I kind of need it for my poor ability so that I can have, you know, the gearbox on the right hand side and such. So credit in, off we go. Nancy is going to talk to us. Here she is. And again, we've got the British white car, because whoever created this hates the Europeans, and you know, let's brand them as a race, which is bad to be able to do crime. But whoever did the yellow card, they're okay, because we're not going to mention it. Why I keep rattling on about that, I don't know. But off we go. I am now concerned. I had enough trouble catching up with the other cars playing the game. You know, I do know that earlier on, so effectively round one of doing this, when we got the first high score, I was able, looking like Mr. Turner again, I was able to finish with 2 turbos left at the end, but you know, there's only 60 seconds to be able to achieve what you want. Everything is a hell of a lot harder now, especially that, you know, I've gone the wrong way. You know, I feel in my water as I'm playing this, I feel completely unconfident, considering that on the previous playthrough, yes, with some slightly easier settings, I got to level 3. Didn't do much on level 3 because I couldn't catch the last car, but you know, this isn't feeling good to me. You know, I may not be all over the place here, but you know, as I smash into another car, it's just hard. It really is. So you know, I'm coming up on the bad guy there, and time up. Game over. You know, I cannot be that bad. You know, I didn't even get halfway down the track, so we're going to let this play out, and we have to have one more go. You know, this was extremely poor. I said that it was a face of disappointment at the beginning of the video. You know, being criticised again by the commentator there. So, you know, let's do one more go on this. You know, I need to really focus. I need to really give it my best. You know, I can't be as bad as I have just shown on that level. Well, clearly I am, but I must do better. So off we go. 60 seconds on the clock. 3 turbos. Really focus, really pay attention, and let us try and get to the enemy car. You know, again, not feeling confident about this, but you know, eyes firmly on the screen and trying to make sure that I do not screw up. Turn right, managed to get that okay. Clip a bollard, but at least I didn't go the wrong way through the city, and I'm back with these bloody bushes that I, like a magnet, I am drawn into driving into them, where I could just be left a little bit and not do that, but no, I have to hit them. So, shooting down the road again, like the cloud formations in the sky that we briefly saw, but I should have really been focusing on the road. Now it's got very cloudy, so you know, we have typical British weather now, and I can see the target vehicle as I spin out. But look at this, it's got the reset. You know, I've had 60 seconds on the clock now. I have a chance to catch up with him. I have no turbos left, but I might, you know, 46, 45 seconds. You know, there is every chance that I could do something if I'm just careful here. I seem to be missing a lot and swerving both sides of him without doing anything, but damage is happening. You know, it is possible, I hope, for me to complete this and at least get him into the beginning of the reds. And then I feel him slipping away right now. You know, you've got down to like 15 seconds left, and I can see myself not doing it. I don't know whether he's moving faster than what he did on the easier levels, but yeah, my skill is just awful. And knowing that I'm not going to do it now, knowing that I'm about to be slated again by the commentators as we exit, this skill level was a damn sight harder than one that you saw me do the opening 2 tries on this. This is a lovely game. You know, I can see why, you know, Chopaholic, Degsy Degsworth, you know, depending where you know him from, you know, loves this game. You know, I will be coming back to this game, but by God, I've got to be better. I'm the gentleman. This is the Gentleman's Pixel Club. This is a challenge that I had for Chase H.Q. Again, the face of disappointment. I did not do well at all. Next time, maybe on the next challenge, I will do better. I have one coming up for Moon Cresta as well. That has already been recorded, so I know what I did on that, and I'm reasonably happy with what I did on that. And you know, again, absolutely love doing these challenges, playing games that I wouldn't normally play. The problem, there's my damn phone again. You know, the problem is it then creates more games for me to play and enjoy, because I find myself loving some of these games. I really, really do, which gives me less time to, explore new games, which means that I spend more time overall playing video games that at some point is going to piss the missus off, and she's going to be having words with me. But anyway, hope you've enjoyed the video. If you have, please consider giving it a like, giving it a subscribe if you're not subscribed. It really does mean a lot. At the time of recording, I'm really trying to get to the 100 subscriber mark, and that allows me a custom URL, and I'd absolutely love to do this. If you've got some spare time in your hand as well, there's a video link to Degsy Degsworth and his channel below if you have any interested in emulated fruit machines on the PC, so you don't spend real money or anything else like that. It purely is an emulation on the great emulator created by the late Chris Wren, dear friend of mine, long gone. But anyway, stay safe, look after yourself, and I will see you next time. And thank you for watching. And Degsy, this one is for you. Thank you for this challenge, but I was a loser.